Hello everybody. Today we're going to check out some creepy kids. The most mysterious children in history. Let's check this out.
We all know very well that superpowers do not exist. This is nothing more than fiction. However, history hides stories of children who were born with strange abilities. Real stories that have remained forever as unsolved cases. Children who could heal with their presence. Children who had visions with 100% certainty. And others with powers so incredible that if there was no evidence, you would never believe it. These mysterious children have left an indelible mark on history. And in this video, you will have the opportunity to meet them. My name is Leonor
What if
Clay,
they're not really
and this
children?
is
What if
the
they're
darkest
aliens?
secret. Today we present the most mysterious children in history. Number 5. Let me remind you that each of the stories that you will hear about here are considered real and widely known. Until now, most of them still have no explanation. We start this video with an amazing case, to this day
From
never
Village
solved.
of the Damned, I think
A
is the name of that
fascinating
movie.
story that began on a beautiful, bright August afternoon in 1877 in the tiny Spanish village of Banjos. Some farmers worked on their land since dawn, enjoyed their modest lunch, and laid down to rest on the grass. Suddenly, there was a thunderous shake that disturbed the tranquility of the afternoon. Frightened, the men began to explore what had happened, and after a while, they came across an entrance to what appeared to be a large cave on the side of a nearby hill. It was there that upon entering, they found themselves face to face with two children, barely 8 years old. Their skin was almost green. They were crying uncontrollably.
That's why
and
I
they
say
spoke a
aliens.
language that no one understood. Obviously, they left the farmers extremely surprised.
Not of this earth.
The little ones, a boy and a girl, slowly advanced toward the astonished villagers, who observed their unexpected presence in perplexity. The young visitors' clothes were made of a transparent material, and their skin was very peculiar. Sometimes it would sparkle in the sun. Some young peasant women approached to console them, while some men carefully explored the cave from which they emerged and the surroundings of the hill, although they did not find any signs of anything unusual. This story is very similar to the Woolpit children, and that is what is interesting. Their descriptions fit very well, but they occurred on two geographically separated places. It is impossible then to not relate both cases. Maybe both groups of children came from the same place. The strange children were taken to the house of Ricardo de Calno, a wealthy landowner and justice of the peace in the region. While the crowd gathered at the door and windows to see the children, Ricardo, a cultured and polyglot man, tried in vain to communicate with the children in several languages. He tried English, Italian, German, and even Russian, but the children did not answer any questions and simply looked at each other without understanding what was being said to them. Meanwhile, his wife and some neighbors tried to win the affection of the young strangers. Over time, the children calmed down, but when Ricardo took the girl's hand and tried to remove the greenish tone from her skin, she recoiled in terror and began to cry again. It was evident that the greenish coloration was natural to her skin. That, along with her gray, slightly almond-shaped eyes, gave her a very beautiful overall appearance. The villagers placed a tray with water and food in front of the children, but they only drank the liquid, rejecting the bread, meat, and fruits, food that they looked at strangely, as if they did not trust them or had never seen foods like that.
This is supposed to be
2 days
documented.
later,
This is
a
supposed
cook
to be
discovered
real.
that the children had a strong preference for peas, rejecting any solid food other than this legume. Over time, the boy began to weaken physically, and despite medical care, died a month after his mysterious appearance. The judge's family adopted the girl, who over time stopped being the center of attention. Her skin became lighter. Months later, she spoke enough Spanish to explain hers and her unfortunate companion's origins.
Okay.
Apparently, and according to the little girl's story, both had arrived from an underground world without light, located in the center of the earth. Near their home, there was another world full of light separated by a wide and mighty river. One day, while they were near that river, they heard a noise and were caught in a whirlpool that took them to the cave where the villagers had found them. The girl died 5 years later from unknown causes,
Hollow Earth.
and was buried next to her unfortunate companion, following Ricardo's instructions. This strange and incredible story was supported by numerous testimonies from respected people in the town. Is the story the girl told true? And will it have any relationship with the already popular story of the Woolpit children? Some researchers suggest that there could be a technologically advanced civilization that has lived inside our planet
Yes,
for thousands
I
of
agree.
years, as there are reports of entrances to caves or caverns that could lead to the underground world.
Antarctica
In
being
the
one of them.
realm of the unknown, anything is possible. Even this strange event could support the theory that when Atlantis was destroyed about 12,000 years ago, a group of survivors took refuge deep inside the earth and still remain there, possessing advanced technology and occasionally emerging to the surface, which we call UFOs. Who knows?
Wow.
Maybe
That's
this
really
is the
cool.
explanation for all the extraterrestrial events that have been experienced recently. As you can see, a sea of theories and hypotheses have been arisen as a result of the encounter of these children with our world.
Yeah, it's all theories and everything. There's no proof,
Number 4.
but I believe it. I'm definitely not ruling it out. Caspar
When it comes to
Hauser.
mysterious children, the story of Casper Hauser is truly intriguing and full of unsolved mysteries. And since his appearance, his life, and above all, his death, were full of inexplicable enigmas that reached such a point that his tombstone reads the phrase, "Here lies Casper Hauser," enigma of his time, unknown birth and death, mysterious. You see, Hauser appears in history on May 26, 1828, in Nuremberg, when Master Shoemaker Beck met him as he was leaving a tavern. He stumbled along, confused, dazed, and mumbling in an incomprehensible manner. Seeing him, Beck approached to help him, since to him Casper was just a child. It was then that the boy showed him 2 letters he had with him, one of them written by his supposed mother, saying that he had been born on April 30th, 1812, and that his name was Casper, and that his father, who died, was addressed to Captain von Wessning of the 6th Regiment. The heading read, "From the Bavarian border," and said that he had been entrusted with him when Casper was a baby, to be cared for and educated in the Christian faith. And now Casper was being sent to Captain Vaughn because the boy wanted to be a soldier and urged him to pick him up. But if Vaughn did not accept, he had to hang the boy. A subsequent graphological analysis determined that both letters had been written by the same hand. Shortly after arriving in Nuremberg, Casper remained in the custody of Mayor Andreas Hiltel, And it was then that the boy began to tell part of his story.
That woman's
He said to
cross-eyed.
have lived in a dark place and to have slept on straw, that a man left him bread and water, but sometimes it tasted bitter, and it was on those occasions that he used to wake up with his hair and nails cut. The man, whom he never saw, taught Casper to write his name and how to walk. Additionally, the stranger allegedly taught the boy to say the phrase, "I want to be a cavalryman like my father was," a phrase that incidentally was pronounced in an old Bavarian dialect. In the end, the authorities handed him over to the school teacher, philosopher, and poet Frederick Dahmer. With occult interest, Dahmer tried to shed light on the boy by doing homeopathic and hypnosis experiments, which were very fashionable at the time. On October 17, 1829, Dahmer found him wounded in the cellar of the house. He said that a hooded man had tried to kill him.
Wow.
Dahmer did not believe him. Dahmer had a suspicion that Casper was a boy with an undisguised tendency to lie and exaggerate. When the boy could not clearly justify the alleged attack that he had suffered, suspicion became a certainty. The teacher thought that it was Hauser who had injured himself.
He can't do it to
Since he
himself.
appeared, rumors about his origin have not stopped. Some said that he was a wild child, others that he had a princely origin associated with the noble house of Baden, and others considered him a trickster. In 1830, we find him living with the Bieberbach family, where on April 3rd he suffered a mysterious accident with a pistol that accidentally went off and wounded him on the right side of his head. The authorities took action again and assigned him to Baron von Tucker as his new foster home, who was quick to complain about Hauser's vanity and lies. In 1831, the case attracted the attention of the English philanthropist Lord Philip Henry Stanhope, who requested custody of Casper. Stanhope spent large sums of money trying to solve the enigma of his origin. He believed he had Hungarian origins because Hauser remembered some words in that language. He dedicated himself to investigate even the smallest indication that Casper himself told him, such as when he said that the Hungarian Countess Metheny was his mother. Everything was in vain. Years passed, and one day, December 14th, 1833, Casper came home with a wound on the side of his chest. He said that a hooded man had attacked him in a park after school, but that he had left him a letter. The envelope was purple, and inside there was a message that could only be read in front of a mirror. Its content revealed Hauser's origin, the Bavarian border, and that the initials of his name were MLO. However, this did not convince anyone. The Court of Inquiry suspected that he had written the note himself, since certain grammatical errors, typical of Hauser, appeared in it. Therefore, the court concluded that Casper had stabbed himself, an action that finally ended up costing him his life on December 17, 1833, taking with him an existence full of errors, inconsistencies, lies, and enigmas that to this day are remembered. In fact, the memory of Casper Hauser still remains
I've heard that
unchanged. In the garden of the residence Ansbach, where a column reads the phrase, "Here a mysterious person was murdered in a mysterious way."
I think he was murdered.
Number 3.
You know how hard it would be to actually stab yourself? That would take a lot of strength for one thing, and you're doing it in a really bizarre angle. That would be really hard to do.
We continue descending into the increasingly mysterious children. In the heart of Tanzania in East Africa, not long ago a girl was born who until now has defied all known natural laws. Her name is Anise. At her young age, her life has been so incredible and so mysterious, it perplexes doctors, scientists, and believers alike. Anise was born in extraordinary circumstances, defying the rules of nature, and instead of the usual 9 months in the womb, Anise stayed there for 3 full years. For
I've never
many,
heard of that.
An unparalleled
Wow.
medical mystery, as well as a harbinger of what she was capable of doing. Several months after the peculiar birth, Anise did something even more surprising. She began to talk and walk. Ordinary children don't develop these skills this early, which left everyone wondering if this girl was destined to be anything more than ordinary.
She's like a saint
But
or
Anise's
something.
real story began when she claimed to hear the voice of her other mother, who her parents theorized was the blessed Virgin Mary. And later, an unparalleled event would occur that marked the moment in which this girl went from being a mysterious girl to a divine one. You see, while she was playing with other children, she suddenly got distracted and focused on something that no one else saw. She kept repeating the phrase, "my mom," while following that supposed voice. According to her parents, who were witnesses of the event, the girl went directly towards a huge bonfire, almost as if in a trance. It was then that they ran to help her, but she was far away. They shouted at her, but the girl did not react. The other children, scared and confused, tried to stop her without success as well. It was then that the girl entered the flames
Ooh.
and was lost in the fire.
Wow.
Her parents were crying uncontrollably, and when they reached her, they found her kneeling and perfectly praying the Hail Mary and the prayer of St. Ignatius, right there, in the middle of the flames, as if the fire did not burn her.
Oh, wow, that's so
Since
creepy.
that
That's
day,
so
the girl
strange.
claims to follow the instructions of the Virgin Mary. Her parents, devout Catholics, accepted her destiny and her connection to the divine. She, at a young age, says that Jesus Christ was her brother, and since then she developed the incredible ability to heal people from any type of evil. And through her hands, every day, thousands and thousands of people come from the most remote corners of the country to receive treatment from her. People who have suffered incurable illnesses have found their total healing in this girl. Her miraculous ability have stunned doctors and scientists who cannot explain its origin. According to the talk in the town, those who practice witchcraft and magic in the nearby villages have seen her as a threat, assuring that on several occasions they have tried to kill her. But Anise seems to be protected by a superior force. In fact, on one occasion they offered her poisoned drinks and food, but she looked at the glass and rejected it. She said the word poison out loud, and after analysis, they determined that the witches had really tried to poison her. The most curious thing is that these healing rituals are completely free, since her parents assure them that it is a gift from God, for which they cannot charge anything. So they are not getting any monetary benefit from here, which makes the story much more interesting.
And more believable.
The enigma of Anise,
I believe that
the
one. That
3-year-old
one's
girl
really
in the
cool.
womb, continued to fascinate those who listen to her story. How is it possible that a girl has defied the laws of nature? How could a mysterious voice have led her to a flame without harming her? And what divine powers allow her to heal the sick and survive poisoning attempts? The answer, like Anise's story, remains a mystery, but her incipient legacy serves as a reminder of the inexplicable and the amazing.
There's so much
And that
unexplainable
sometimes the
there that you
deepest
kind of
truth
got to take
is
what she
hidden
says
in the
as
most
truth
mysterious corners of
to
life.
me.
Number 2.
Wow. That's something else. That's a really cool story. And remember, she said at the beginning that these
For
are all
scholars
true.
on the subject, the discovery of special children is not new, and the result of past studies already showed files of minors whose gifts and lives became legends of the society of the time. A clear example of that lies in the mysterious story of the healer boy, or musical boy. The boy in this position came famous during the 19th century. In a remote village in Greece, nestled among green hills, there lived a boy named Andreas. Since his birth, Andreas was surrounded by mystery. According to his adopted parents, they found him one stormy night, abandoned in a forest near where they had their farm. Somewhere in the region of Arcadia, the child lay wrapped in a dirty, worn-out blanket, crying and all wet from the rain. Andreas' adopted parents, a villager couple, welcomed him with love and care. From an early age, as he grew up, they noticed that he had an innate talent for playing musical instruments. But the most surprising thing of all happened when his parents saw him taking apart several musical instruments to create his own. At the age of 4, the music emitted by that strange instrument flowed from him in a way that seemed divine. It is believed that the notes that the child played had the power to alleviate the suffering of the sick, and on some occasions, eliminate illnesses by 100%. The people soon learned of his gift and became coming to Andreas for healing. People from all over Greece traveled to the town to listen to his healing music. Mothers brought their children, and men of all ages came to his home to hear him play that strange device. But the mystery surrounding Andreas did not end there.
So is that the instrument?
When they asked the boy where he got such chords, such melodies or ideas for his instruments, he said that he dreamt them, that a brilliant man played them in his dreams. Many accused his parents of being liars, claiming that they were the ones who built the instruments.
Of course they're going to do that.
But what was true was that he played them with an impossible talent, and people really seemed to heal. The mystery of Andreas' origin was never fully solved. Some believe that he was a direct descendant of God. A curious thing is that at one point he became ill unexpectedly and died just 3 days later when he was 6 years old. The story of Andreas, the musical boy, lived on in the town of Arcadia as a legend that transcended time. His healing music and mysterious origin became part of the rich mythology of Greece, reminding everyone that sometimes in the most mysterious and amazing moments, healing and hope can be found in the notes of a divine melody.
That's another neat one. All these stories have been really, really cool. All stuff I've never heard of, too. I've heard that one name earlier, Casper.
The case that ends its footage is given by what for many is the most fascinating and mysterious story
Casper
of gifted
Hauser.
children on record. In a remote village in India, an extraordinary child named Akrit Jaswal was born. From an early age, Akrit displayed an astonishing intellect and an insatiable curiosity about the world around him. At the age of 4, he had already read medical books that perplexed adults. The child prodigy was especially fascinated by medicine and the power to heal. At the age of 7, Akrit witnessed a surgery at the local hospital, and to everyone's amazement, began to explain the surgical procedure with an accuracy that left the doctors speechless. From that moment, they knew that Akrit had a special gift.
A genius.
As he grew older, Akrit developed an extraordinary ability to diagnose illnesses and propose treatments. Not only was he an academic genius, but he also had unique medical intuition. The people of the village began to come to him for help when they were sick, and Akrit never let them down. One of Akrit's most notable stories was that of a boy from his village who was born with a rare deformity in his hands. Local doctors had tried unsuccessfully to correct the deformity, but Akrit immersed himself in studying similar cases, and at age 11 performed successful surgery to correct the boy's hands. This medical achievement launched him to fame in India and around the world. However, despite his outstanding intelligence, Akreed faced challenges and obstacles in his path. His determination and passion for medicine led him to overcome all adversities. He became the youngest doctor to earn a medical degree in India and began to work tirelessly to help the sick
11 years old.
and conduct groundbreaking medical research. Throughout his life, Akreed Jasal never ceased to amaze the world with his talent and dedication to medicine. His story is a reminder that sometimes the gift of healing can come in unexpected forms, and that passion and knowledge can overcome any obstacle on the path to healing and caring for others. Did you know the story of some of these mysterious children? Leave it in the comment box, because this video has come to an end. My name is Leonore Clay, and this was The Darkest Secret.
Well, that was really interesting. I liked every single one of those stories. I think my favorite one, though, was the little girl that claimed to be Jesus Christ's sister. I think that one was really neat. That was a lot different for this channel. This channel usually has, like, ghosts, spooky stuff, things like that. This was kind of uplifting to me. We don't know everything that's out there. I stand by that till the day I die. We don't know everything that's out there. I truly believe that there could be people living down in the earth, or even aliens. It might be another place where they go. I don't know. Let me know what you thought of that in the comments down below. Now it's time for a joke. I wrote an anti-capitalist pasta sauce book. It's called The Communist Manifesto.